Unboxed. We are still, Michael, you did misheard me last week. It's story and play.
Yes, I
Yes.
did. So, but
So we got
our
there.
creativity, our limitlessness, we just make a good episode anyway.
Exactly. It's about what comes out and not what goes in necessarily. I don't know.
Exactly.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, story and play, I would say, story is almost archetypals of our conversations that
Yes.
becomes a story.
Yeah.
And then you can take that, like an archetypal doesn't say, oh, you have to do exactly this with three things and whatever. No,
Yeah.
you get with the frequency of an archetype or a story and then apply it to the oneness of you, which creates a new story, which we know when we do this the game of I tell you, you tell me, and everybody else, three
Yes.
people, and it's a total different story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We
it's
we
a
also stopped listening to stories. You know,
yeah,
when I was small, my grandmother used to make up these stories about a
yeah,
mouse called Benny Mouse, and she
yeah.
um,
I
drew
love that. I love
drawings
that
of
Penny
Benny
Mouse.
Mouse,
It's like
and
monkey.
yes, yes, Benny. There was a mouse that fell from the roof when we had my sister's birthday party in Windhoek in
Yeah,
the um, and then the Benny Mouse story was created, and Benny's
yeah,
family moved with us eventually to South Africa and
yeah.
came to the farm, and often we as adults, I think, see stories and play as distractions from reality. Where it isn't. I feel it's like,
Isn't.
the world of imagination is where we get to create and where we get to live. I mean, all the
Hmm.
stuff that's going on in the world, it's other people's shit. It's
Exactly.
not mine.
It's not
Yeah,
yours. It's
no,
that,
no.
and I think it's the reverse. This is the not real, and the stories are real because the stories refer and play to you and to you. So I say, playing is one thing I can do alone or with you.
Hmm.
Monkey around, I only can do with you because what would monkey? So I
Yeah, there's a
there's a different. The monkeying around
reciprocity.
is
Yeah,
in the group, and the play is can be singular or with more people.
with more. Yes, yes. And this is also, I think, why we used to live and in enjoy myth and story and things so much more because we could relate things without having to have it in specific words.
We have to have myth. We
You
have
have
to
to
have
have
myth.
myth. It's part of that archetypal thing.
Yeah.
I started this new thing with the Wisdom Seeker, so I'm doing a specific myth each season and making it
Mm-hmm.
into a series. So in the Foundation of Self,
Mm-hmm.
the myth series is around trees. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of doing the Northern Hemisphere, which is the Yggdrasil, the Tree of Life, the Norse mythology, and then I did the Baobab, which is the Southern African kind of upside down tree that compared itself, and
Mm-hmm.
is
I
so
mean, it doesn't really
so
matter
old.
because
And
it's like that. It's like what? Yeah.
yeah. And then this month I'm going into the story of emergence, the Navajo kind of concept around that. And next
Mm-hmm.
season it's the birds, the firebird and the lightning bird and the thunderbird. And
Mm-hmm.
there's just, I don't know, I like it. I like
No,
it.
because in the myth you can fit yourself in a story.
Mm,
If it's just a exact story like what system does,
yeah.
so then it's funny because system. So for example, you have to. This is what the poet says. This is what the writer says, and then
Mm.
you have to say, what does he mean, and then you interpret anyway. So why
Yes.
would you insist on Shakespeare say it that way?
Yeah.
Even with the language, why the updated language, but I'm saying, even why would you say it this way when it makes no sense today? Nobody speaks like that. So
Yeah.
I think you should have both. It's always included. Our development should be always included, not excluded. Like AI should be included, not submitted. We submit us to AI. you
Yes.
know?
Yes. But because we adapt, though, the
Yeah,
story, like we went to watch Wuthering Heights the other day,
yeah,
the new Wuthering Heights that came out. And I used to love the book. I mean, I read the book
yeah.
so many times, and I have a version of the story in my head. It's some version of it. I can't remember it that
Yeah.
well, but
I
I
cannot
love the
remember it
book.
all. I read it. I think I watched it, read it like three
Yeah.
or four times, and I have no clue.
And
So
I
I've,
didn't at all when I went to watch the movie. So I kind of picked up little things.
mhm,
Obviously, the relationship, was always this one of what's the word? I don't know what the word is, but it is intense, between
yeah,
her and Heathcliff. It
hmm
could be. And thinking back and then kind of starting, because I bought the book now. Now I'm going to go back
yeah,
into the book and remember the full version of
hmm
it. But the
yeah,
movie was such a condensed for this time adaptation of a story that
hmm
someone wrote, what is it, almost 200 years ago? Well, I don't know,
hmm
150 years ago, whatever. But it's still alive. The story's still alive.
hmm
The the message is still alive
hmm
in whatever way you want to take it.
hmm
'Cause,
That's nature.
like,
That's natural.
yeah,
So there is something, and we can take it as much as we want. We can not take it. That's our choice. Yeah,
yes, yes. Or we can delve deeper. You always
yeah.
talk about permission slips. I was thinking about it this week, um, trying to know whether I understand it in the way that you see it, the permission slips. And for me, the permission slip is around I am allowed to choose to go deeper and be weirder and do, it differently because because you know because
Because
I'm a
it
system
just is.
seeker,
Yeah.
or because I'm a human, or
hmm
because I'm Michelle, or because I
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can absolutely, because uh, a permission slip is also almost like an archetype or a story, because you have so many permission slips to be you. It finds you to be you. So when if I've looked at runes, I have worked with so many, and they were always at the time the right permission slip.
Yeah.
I worked with flower essence. I worked with all this stuff
Hmm.
because I was sick all the time. So I had that. I had to get the right permission slip for the right time. And well, from my perspective, at that time doesn't exist. But when I
Yeah.
look at my essence, right, I always
Yeah.
have a different perspective. So I have a bad relationship, a super relationship. I have
Hmm.
a car accident. I have that. I
Hmm.
have to deal with problems that life brings me to that essence, because and that
Yeah.
was chosen too. And I look at it from every perspective,
Hmm.
from every perspective of mine. Has nothing to
Hmm.
do with you, has nothing to do with anybody else. It
No.
just from my perspective, you play in that perspective, in that, while I have that perspective. So if tomorrow I become a dictator, let's say
Mhm.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
I will lose your perspective, because you choose to be looking at your perspective. It was a part. You're shocked. I'm really nasty and weird. You're
Hmm.
shocked, and then she's like, you look at the say, I don't resonate with that, and then you go somewhere else. That's why I had a long time yesterday with Mark. I said, Mark, I love you as a person. I don't like your product.
Yeah.
I don't identify. I identify way more with the wisdom seekers, but I'm not, I'm doing my human centric
Hmm.
systems thing. So you don't have to like that what I do.
Or
If you like me,
understand it. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
understand.
Because there is a
Yeah,
certain amount of depth that only you understand about human
yeah,
centricity or your perspective to human
yeah,
centricity.
yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Like we artists, so you can love an artist, but don't really resonate with his work.
yeah,
That it's just I love an artist, and she does
yeah,
like all funny stuff, you
yeah,
know, and
yeah.
I like the monkeyness that she does it with, but I wouldn't hang that up.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
So
it's
there's a level of resonance that goes. deeper than the product or deeper
Yeah,
than the outcome.
yeah. The
Yeah,
outcome is part of it is the system.
yeah,
The I like the essence. I love the. I mean, obviously, I love the wisdom seekers because that connects. But I don't like systemic, and also I like system wisdom seekers only because when I get an email from you, I feel that it's very. I don't have anything to change. I wouldn't change anything. I told her that very often. I wouldn't
mm,
change anything. I wouldn't say, I wish she would have done that in red. I don't be that person that said, I like you to show me yourself. I don't like you to show me, oh, I'm all in black, black and black, and everything is this and design and all this stuff. You are
yeah,
you.
yeah,
And I was in earlier. I was like that when I was young. I was very much because to survive myself. I
yeah.
was very judgmental. You know, people don't understand that judgment is to survive your own.
Hmm.
To in the thing that you
Yeah,
have to judge first, and in that judging you learn. You know,
yeah,
and you judge and learn to actually get through and move on. So
yeah,
you know, if I can survive by saying all these people that are system relevant are really not my friends. If I judge that or I say they are not human centric or whatever,
mm,
that makes me survive. That makes me survive another day. Instead of saying, oh, it's all. Now, my understanding now of human is way better than judging. Obviously, we always subconsciously judge to orient ourselves. But I think the judging comes from surviving to survive in the system. You wouldn't judge. See, you wouldn't judge outside in the woods, in the tribes. You wouldn't judge, but
yeah,
but you must judge. You're pushed into judgment because to survive in that system world, which I'm
mm,
just working right now, and all the worlds we are creating. You know, and
yeah,
even the spiritual world is a generalization. You know, and you don't do it because you and I were working, but you say, I'm not saying tarot cards are from everybody.
yeah,
No.
yeah,
So you say for your one-on-oneness, use that story, what we talked,
yeah,
and from that story, uh, interpret it for you. See, that's
yeah.
the
If you
if you
want, there's
want,
an
if you want it
invitation to
exactly.
come
People,
with me on this journey or this
yeah,
journey or not. I'm still
yeah,
here.
yeah,
Um, but it is just an invitation.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I know that everything I do is a permission slip to be
mm,
more me.
yeah, yeah,
Even though you give all the system stuff up. I say I don't want to be called a leader. I don't want to be called a authority and expert. I don't want to call that. I'm Michael. That's it. You're Michelle. That's it.
that's it. Yeah.
And you have titles.
And
I don't.
even that for me is a system relevant classification,
Yeah.
because I don't really have a connection necessarily to my name at the mo
Yeah.
in this moment in time.
Yeah.
As a woman especially, there's this, to a surname or to a
Mhm.
last name, it's never yours.
Yeah.
It's always either,
Because it's
you
so
know.
many Michelles, right? There's
Yes,
so
so
many
you have to
Michelles.
kind of now find a way.
Oh,
But
she's
if I didn't
difficult.
have a name, or if I didn't have a box,
Yeah.
if I was just that woman with the funny earrings,
Yeah.
whatever, this soul over there,
Yeah.
um, but the name
Hmm.
has gone a bit further than, I love looking at meanings of names, for example, and Michael and
I
Michelle
do.
are
I
very
do too.
similar.
Because it
So
must came from somewhere. This.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you know the Hebrew meaning of Michelle, which is the same for Michael.
Michael. Yeah. What
Yes,
is the
it is. I want to tell you it now.
remind me.
It is
Truth. I
who.
have
It's
truth.
a question mark. So it's kind of a question of who can be like God. Question
Yeah.
mark, not a statement. So
Yeah.
it's a curiosity into divinity, I
Yeah.
think. I
I
feel.
have I
Yeah.
put the second L. The second L is truth. It's like
Ah,
it's truth. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
in that in that is exactly what we are.
Yes.
See, we found ourselves by living life, by doing all kinds of things that wasn't ourselves.
Mm,
And now in our age, that's what we should in our age we should become wise, not thinking what we can survive.
yeah.
You know,
But
that's
even
a
in wisdom, there's no hierarchy. There's no
no.
you are
A 5 year
wiser
old
than
can be smarter than
oh,
you. A
yeah.
monkey could be a little monkey could be smart. You know what? They is at 55. There's one wisdom story
Mm,
that people decide because 50, 55, 56 they segregate into either being totally uh, in the wisdom, what you and I did, or what have a midlife crisis, and wherever in their life, usually it's in adolescent because that's the conditioning the most.
mm.
They say, I need a new girlfriend, I need a new car. Guys, I can only tell from guys. I don't know what women do in that. I need another boyfriend. I don't know. I didn't have a right boyfriend. Now I have a rich boyfriend. I don't know.
Or be on your own.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
or
I
their
don't.
own, or whatever.
Yeah.
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 So you choose either wisdom or surviving of diseases and sickness. I had I'm in this community center. It's like where there's like elder people are, and they look say, oh, I survived the hip replacement, I survived the knee replacement, I survived this, and they go from one to another. I survived cancer, I did 3 cancers, 4 cancers. So
Yeah.
that's an image, system image, that is not that person, because
But
that
it's
is
also a story. It's
yeah,
also
it's a story.
a
Yeah.
story of
Mhm.
when I get older,
Yeah.
I will have to deal with health issues,
Yes.
which is a system imposed story.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely, because you know
surely,
me, I was a wreck as a
yeah,
kid,
yeah,
and it took me to 50 to even feel conscious. I
yeah,
was not separated from my being. I was just reacting to life, and that
yes, because you
fear
are
and
in
everything was fear
survival, I would
driven,
assume.
and
Yeah,
everything was fear driven and stuff. And now I don't care anything. I just allow it to happen. It is what it is. What we always say.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not saying I'm better tomorrow. I can jump back into this. You see, I don't say now I'm over this. I will never go into this. There's always the possibility. There's everything is possible and not possible in the relevance of my one-on-one life, in the relevance of your own.
yeah,
Everything is possible. So if you say, for example, you want to go to Mars, right? That is not probably not relevant for you so much in your life. But
yeah.
for a young person, it's more relevant, and to do that.
Yeah,
So,
or for, maybe if I was younger, I would be interested in it. Now I'm more interested in experiencing this life and
oh yeah, Earth is
connections and the
Are you kidding me? This is a better thing. How people shun Earth? It's like just exploited and whatever. It is unbelievable to be here, and the people don't get it. I get it every day more to
mm,
be here. How important it is,
mm,
and I say I go there when I'm done with Earth. When I'm saying, hey,
mm.
I don't get anything, I've explored everything, but it always delivers.
Can't,
Earth
yeah.
always delivers, right?
There's too
The,
much to
the
explore in one
animals and all
lifetime.
the stuff and the
Yeah,
flowers and everything, the mountains, everything, the trees, everything,
yeah,
it delivers constantly. If it was, hey, it was like I bought a red car, now I buy a blue car. That you could be done with red and
that's
move to
it.
blue, but
Yeah.
the Earth is so dynamic. It's just like whoa, what it delivers is amazing.
Yeah, but there's an energy loop, isn't there? I mean,
Yeah,
I was just thinking about cars now. At some
yeah.
point, cars just don't have that appeal, I'm sure.
No,
I mean,
no.
wouldn't mind a certain car, but
Yeah.
at some point, it doesn't really matter if it drives well and the petrol or the diesel
A,
is too
A to
expensive, then
B,
it's all fine. Yeah,
A to B, right? That's
yeah.
like
but with a tree or an animal, I was watching again a little bit of my octopus teacher last night, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean that you don't get with the car.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
engagement of a
Mm-hmm.
something that has a different consciousness than yours, that
Yeah.
engages with you, that's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Because that changes you on I think, a cellular level,
Yeah.
in that you always want to go back and you're going to experience it differently in each engagement.
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
you don't want to go back, don't go back. This
Yeah.
is always like, I have to now, octopus, have to get the octopus, have to figure out everything about it. No, that's a struggle. That's not
Yeah.
naturally getting together with the frequency of
Yeah.
octopi.
But which is, I mean, it can trigger an interest. And like this guy that was doing this documentary, he just wanted to learn more about how they eat and how they hunt, and he really developed a relationship with this specific octopus.
Yeah, I know. I
Um,
saw the
yeah,
film. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So it is whatever you choose it to be, right? You don't have to go either way, but to make a choice is also part of your story. To go, okay, I really want to go and see what other people know about whatever it is, seagulls or octopi or, I don't know, people
yeah,
for that matter. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I think we draw out is the story is a pattern that you always live, and then you make a story out of it because it
mm,
always is in you. Like animals, in your case, animals are always in your life. So animals are becoming stories for you, or the animal becomes a story. Then you tell me, or I would say trees very much for you because
yeah,
you tell me a lot about trees,
yeah,
And I was raised in a forest, so that's that I connect with you on that, on the trees, and because that comes up in my life, that comes up in yours.
yeah,
Your story, has a similarity with that story of my story to be in trees and stuff,
yeah,
and so even though our stories are different with trees, we create a bigger story, a stronger story. That's what I'm saying. When you're with the oneness, there is no truth. There is many truths. The highest truth is there's many truths
that's it.
to see the whole.
Yeah,
So what we do, we always do here. We always say mine, yours, and then it becomes you and I become bigger.
yes,
Grow. And then somebody listens to it, grows, and then somebody, and other people don't resonate at all. It's fine too. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, because all truths are half truths until we know something different or more
yeah,
or
yeah,
differently. Um,
yeah.
those are our truths in this moment.
In this
Um,
moment,
in this moment, yeah.
and our perspective to us, it's like,
Yeah, exactly. And
uh,
we then create story around that, as you
yeah.
say,
We
especially
need mysticism.
passion.
We need the mysticism of stories to actually share it. So the stuff is, if you tell me about trees and I have to follow exactly what you say, or you have to follow what I say about trees,
Yeah,
doesn't work. That's not a story. That's a
yeah,
dictation, manipulation, a system.
yeah. Yeah, I
Crazy.
can't tell you all the stuff about trees because I see them as ballerinas, and
Exactly. Yeah. No. No. You see
yeah,
him as you see him,
yeah,
and which I would never see as ballerinas. But when you say ballerinas,
yeah,
it like in our unboxed, we do it in the moment. We say, you just said to ballerinas, I've never looked at trees with
yeah.
ballerinas,
Well, some of
and
them
I
are
see a lot of
ballerinas, not
monkeying
all of them.
around with that. And so
Yes,
so I see him now as, in the
as the
sieve of
possibility
looking at it.
of, yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and that's so nice about sharing story instead of sharing news, for example,
Facts,
facts,
yeah.
knowledge, or things like that,
Or the
because
word,
those are
a
the,
word. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly, because words are quite limiting and tricky
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. And they don't have a meaning anymore, like love or education.
Yeah,
We talked about this. They have no meaning. I say,
yeah,
I love you. If I don't say I love you and you feel the heart of me,
mm,
and your heart can tell you, oh, he wants me or whatever, or he's just loving my essence,
yeah,
that there's so much difference in that, which systemically you cannot. There's probably millions of expression of love or
Yeah,
education or anything in
yeah.
there, you know.
And I mean, in our conditioning, we told I love you, but you
Hmm.
must change. You know, I love
Yeah,
you, but you must do it this way to be better.
yeah,
So I
that's
don't really, so
yeah,
it creates a mistrust as to, well, you don't really because you want me to be something else.
yeah.
So then you
I,
cannot love me.
I
Yeah.
think it's about unconditional everything. I think unconditional knowledge, unconditional, because you and I say never, this is it, this is a fact, this is what you have to do. We never say that. That the openness to unconditionality is unbelievable because that is really, I don't insist on anything. You know, I'm me. And probably only assistance is I'm 101 and me. And
Yeah.
harm to none, which equals when you say 101 human and you say harm to none, that's the base of common denominator. Then
Mm.
you can go to live and let live. Because
Yeah.
live and let nothing else, if you're 101 and you're harm to none, nothing else can be live other than live and let live.
Yes, but this is not what's being this is not what leadership are showing
Yeah,
us. This is not
yeah,
the example. This
mm,
is the world that we live in. So it's difficult to pull those together
yeah,
in our current reality, or
yeah,
especially the current reality for many
mm,
people,
yeah.
in other areas of the world. So the stories are important.
Very.
Yes.
And there needs to be myth in it, you know,
Yes, mysticism and myth, and because there
to
is
fit, to fit.
lesson, there is what's the there is meaning. There
Yeah,
is something deeper in the myth.
because if you in a myth, you and I fit. There
Mm,
is the meaning, right? So
yeah,
once you and I fit, you the teller and I the listener, we
yeah,
fit there through the myth, and
yes.
then and through the myth we fit there because you make it for you. You make that story for you,
Mm.
and then you know
Because it has
and
space for me and it has
yeah,
space for you in
yeah,
the way that we can, as you say, put ourselves in it.
yeah,
Um,
mm,
yeah, because it's bigger than white people from, I don't know,
yeah,
Georgia, or I don't know,
yeah,
Georgia is. Yeah, it's inclusive and there's a sense of belonging within it,
yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah, and the monkeying around doesn't make it. The story is you have to believe that story. The
Yeah,
wolf is bad. You know, but the bad wolf, the
yeah,
wolf is bad. See
yeah,
that when you monkey around, you can monkey around with the wolf too. You can
yeah.
monkey with the darkness too. You
Oh
don't
yeah,
have to, you know. So it's not. Oh, there's darkness and there's light. Yeah, there's both, but it's to handle both. You know, make the bad
well,
person your friend. Make the dark whatever devil your friend. You know.
yeah, or acknowledge. I mean, there's a difference between, what do they call it? Fairy tales and myth. A lot of
Yeah.
the fairy tales have misconstrued our understanding of the world, I think. There isn't always a prince. It doesn't need to be a prince that comes to save the
Yeah.
maiden or the princess or the whatever.
It's
But
more
with
system
myth,
relevant. The
yes.
fairy tale is more system
But
relevant.
with the
Whereas
myth, there's a lot more magic and mystic, and
exactly, yeah,
you have your Persephone, who's
yeah.
both in the underworld and in the upper world, whatever you call it, in the
Everything is and. It's
so
not a
everything is
either
and
or.
that's it.
Either or. The system segregates in either or.
Yeah,
It makes binary everything that it's either or. And that doesn't work because it's not either or. It's and. It's and. It's the and. It's this and that.
yeah,
Dark and night, moon and sun. It's
yes.
not only moon, only sun. No, it's all.
Yeah,
And
and
we
that's I
can,
think what fairy tales do, It's the good and the bad. It's the good people
yeah,
and the bad people. It's the
yeah,
bad wolf and the good little Red Riding Hood, and you
yeah,
know, and it doesn't work like that. Sleeping Beauty, wasn't just sleeping, she was apparently dead. You know.
Yeah.
So there's a what's a manipulation within
Hmm.
those stories, which I
Hmm.
think have maybe given other stories a bad rap as to we don't
Absolutely.
need to manipulate to to communicate or to empower or any of
Hmm.
that. We can have ands and not ors, buts.
Either or, it's always end, and you can choose on this spectrum because there's a spectrum of the end thing. That doesn't mean you have to be the darkest person to discover light. It's just like
Yeah.
it could be, but it doesn't have to. So
Yeah.
you can. Most people are always in the middle. They're always in the middle. Then when they vote, they get segregated. Then but in general, we are all in the middle so that we can actually connect and work together. We wouldn't be able to communicate or understand what a woman goes through or what a man goes through this. We couldn't when we would be on. Oh, I'm just a feminist. I'm just a main
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
a masculine. What is that? A feminist, a
Well, this is the
manlinist?
thing. What's the opposite of feminism?
Yeah. Now that's we need.
Misogyny.
Please
But,
don't.
it
We
doesn't,
don't need
yeah,
that. We don't need
no.
that.
We
Women
don't need
have
any extreme. We need
a
we need a
balance. The
combination, a
balance. The
balance.
balance is in the middle. So this the
But the
real
balance
power.
isn't always in the middle. Like in this time, I feel that the balance need for it to be balanced, we need to push it a bit more to the other side for it
Yeah.
to find a
Yeah.
balance. So
Because we
balance
try to
isn't
edge.
always
We
the
we are
same.
edgers. We always go further. Now, what is with if we had 59 wars, we have 60 wars right now. So let's edge. Let's see this to make business. And then once it's aware, the humans are aware that war is pure business. It never was anything else. It was never a justification to conquer land or anything. The earth is big enough, especially then. So when you say, "Oh, we did this forever," we did it to get something, never to just.
Never to profit, only profit.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
not a boundary. It was not, oh, I gotta have a war for a boundary. That was not it. That was just, I need access to you. I need access to your stuff. It's a business. It was always a business. And once this vernacular is done to see that, I call it always the war business. I never, when I talk about war now, I always say the war business. It's a business. It's nothing human.
Yeah.
It has nothing human to do. It's just a human using the system to abuse other human, or control or manipulate other human. It's always a human. It's a AI. No, 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 no. It's a human that uses the AI, which is totally neutral,
Yeah.
to punish and think, and then to blame. See, this is how good it is. Then you blame the system. See, but if and the system cannot be human. That's why I say it's better to have a boss than a company, a multinational company. The boss has something to say. You can relate to him, even if he never sees you. But it's a person.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing was ever to do corporations. That was the worst. I have not against business. You
Mm.
can make a business. I can make a business. All fine. But when on your head is a board, they all share their responsibility and liability, and the system, and ultimately the board is exchanged. The humans are exchanged in the board, right?
Yeah.
And but Coca-Cola will do that, whatever Coca-Cola does,
Yeah. 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 So it takes away the accountability because systems can't be accountable.
No.
Yeah.
And then working for it is the worst, because
Yeah.
you're working with a partner that wants to get the most profit from you. They want the most effectiveness,
Mm.
and effectiveness in system effect. That effectiveness is different. Hold on, different than human effectiveness, because
Yeah.
when I touch you or you tell me something, it enriches my heart. If you and that's very effective, because that can make me from sick to healthy. That can make me from not being able to go outside to go outside if it resonates. Yeah, right. But the system is just effective of money, and you cannot make money God. Money is wonderful. I love money, but as soon as you make money for God as God, and says, "Oh, money can solve everything," no, it can't. You can't eat it even. You can't even if Elon Musk has all this money and nothing else but the money, he can't eat it. If they destroy the earth so much, not Elon, but everybody destroys the earth so much, what are you gonna do with your money? Eat it?
Nothing.
You
No.
can burn it. You can burn it for warmth, but
Yeah.
you need
But
wood.
it's not going to burn for very long.
Nothing.
No.
And nobody sees that. I mean, they see it, they know it,
Mm.
but they really bring it up into your consciousness that you're doing. Like I said, oh, we pay $1 billion to do this. I said, no, I'm not gonna do it for money. If I don't love it, if I enjoy it not, and I said everybody human will get help, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so somewhere there's a loss of connection to humanity within
Yeah.
those humans that don't see that.
Yeah, and this it only it need we need human to segregate to give the illusion we are never segregated, but to
Mm.
give the illusion we need humans to implement that delusion that we are segregated and we are different and whatever.
Yeah.
So there is nothing else than human. Human is the center. Is it? That's it. It's not a system. Oh, the system did it. No, it didn't. No, not even the government. It's the people. The people are it.
Yeah.
And that's why human centric. We say that's why human centric is it. There is no alternative. I cannot say there is an alternative. Oh, they do it other. No, that's it.
Yeah.
Everything that is comes through humans, and
Yeah.
then we can
It doesn't
experience.
though. It
Yeah,
it would be in our best interest if it did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now we have choice also. We can go detours, but in that we learn. So, like the story, your story, my story,
Mm.
we learn there's mysticism in that whole thing. I'm not against systems. I'm very much for systems if
Yeah.
they're human centric. But if you're not engaged in the and say there has to be a leader that is responsible for that,
Mm.
or he can't be the lead. It can't be a leader, and the system is bad. So to use a system can be very good or
Mm.
very bad.
Yeah.
The
But it's still
problem is
the
only
accountability of the human using the system. Uh,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, accountability. Not getting off it. So I can do whatever I want. I can exploit humans, animals, the earth, all the stuff. And because otherwise there would be never a need for a board or anything, you know.
Yeah.
And they spin it. They say the board is so important for this and this and this, but ultimately it's important for effective money laundering or whatever doing it. You know?
It's also stalling. It's also creating
Yeah,
process and yeah, wasting energy
yeah.
in the process, which
I love that.
wastes human. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Thank
Oh
you.
my God, that was
Um,
totally different. Hold on. We
yes,
just actually we just clarified a mistake that I made. I did not understanding you, and look what comes out.
but there we
We're in
go.
spaces,
Completely
unbound
different.
spaces, limitless.
Exactly, exactly. We will be doing it again. Well, times change, so we'll be at the same time, which is an hour earlier on this side of the ocean and same time on that side of the ocean. So I'll see you
Thank
next.
you.